I want to show you 3 ways how you can add a photo or an image to your presentation. The first way is how to insert an image that you have, that is, on your computer into your presentation. Or if you don't have an image on your computer, you can use one of Microsoft PowerPoints called Clip Art that they have available online. Or if you want to be able to capture part of your screen and convert that into an image that you can insert into your presentation, we can do that as well. First of all, let's go ahead and insert an image that I have on my computer. And you want to make sure that you have the slide selected that you want to insert the image into, and it's going to be slide 1. And then come up here and click on the Insert tab, go to the Images group, and click on Pictures. And it opens up the Browse window to insert a picture. Over in the navigation pane, I'm going to go to my desktop, and then over in the main area, I want something creepy, and double click, and there it is. Now because the picture is really large, it tried to fit the slide here, but it didn't completely, because if it did, it would have to stretch more vertically, and that would distort the picture. So as far as fitting, it did it perfectly in width. Now if you want to resize the picture, then just go ahead and hover over one of these resizing handles. Like if you want to do it on the right middle handle, then hover over that until you see arrows pointing in opposite directions, then click and drag in to shrink it more vertically. In other words, you get it more stretched here, so it's distorted vertically. And then to be able to make up for that, you can hover over the top middle handle and click and drag down to kind of make it more proportional by bringing it down so it's more horizontal here in proportion to the vertical shrinking. And then you'll notice that when I hover over the image, my pointer has 4 arrows underneath it, 4-way arrow, meaning that when you click and drag, you can move it in 4 directions, up, down, left, or right. And then when you position it just right, let go, and that's it. Now, instead of moving it with the mouse, you can also use the arrow keys. And notice I go left and then right. And if you want it in more micro movements, hold down the control key when you use the arrow keys and go left and then go right. See, it doesn't jump as much. So let's go ahead with it selected, hit the delete key on the keyboard, and let me show you another way to insert the image. Instead of just coming up here clicking on the Insert tab, let's go to slide 5, because as you recall, we have different layouts we can use for our slides where it has a title and 2 contents or comparison. So in the content box, you can either add text or hover over one of these icons here to add a picture. So you can click on it, opens up the Insert Picture Browse window to the desktop here, double click on Creepy Night, and hey, that's nice. Automatically resized it as best it could to fit within the content box that was there, but now it's gone because it replaced it with the picture that we want there. Then click off. Doesn't look too bad. Of course, you can select it, resize it, click and drag to move it around, and then notice when I move it, how it's got those faded red dashes going up and down to the left-hand side of the picture and also the right. Again, that's new to Office 2013 when it comes to moving, in this case, a picture around, or your objects as well, and other text boxes, to help you when it comes in relation to everything else on the slide, how you can best align it, or if there's nothing on the slide, how it would best align within the center of the slide, as you can see right here, or right there, middle and center. In any case, I'm going to put it right back over here. And then if I don't want that image, I want something else, select it, hit the delete key on the keyboard, and the content box reappears here. And so you've got pictures you can insert from your computer, or if you don't have any, but you'd like an image, Microsoft PowerPoint has some available for you online. Click on the online pictures, which you can do from here. Or if you don't have this content box, then just come up here and click on the Insert tab, go to the Images group and click on Online Pictures. But since we have the content box here, let's come over here, click on Online Pictures. Then type in what you're looking for, something spooky like a ghost, hit Enter. Ooh, that's Pookie, but he's happy. And you can see in the pop-up the ghost is a smiley, yellow, happy, spooky. Of course, you may want to read some of the text down below as far as licensing goes. In any case, read that. Select it, come down here, click on Insert, click off, click off. Okay, so we've got a happy ghost here. Let's go back to slide 1, just for the sake of having a slide that doesn't have much on it. And let's take a snapshot of our screen and insert it as an image into our presentation. Why would you want to do that? Well, maybe you've got another PowerPoint slideshow or an image, something up on your screen here that you want to take a screenshot of it and be able to insert it here. What could that be? Well, let me minimize this down to the taskbar. I've got my plant oils presentation. Double click to open that up, and let's go to slide 3. And let's say that I'd like this to be in my presentation. And of course, you can copy the slide and bring it over. but let's say I just want it as an image and not as an actual slide. So whatever you have up on your screen, you can take a snapshot of it or a screenshot and be able to save it as an image and insert it into your presentation. So before I do that, let me go ahead and minimize that down to the taskbar. And let me come over here and open up the exercises folder so you can see I've got this opened. I have my presentation open. I have the other one open. Let me go back to my original presentation. And then to take a screenshot of what's open, come up here, click on the Insert tab, go to the Images group, and then you can click on Screenshot and you can see all the windows that are available. In other words, windows that are not just open but not minimized down to the taskbar, because if it's minimized down there, then you won't be able to see it here. So you can have other windows open, like, let's do this, minimize this down to the taskbar, or better yet, let's minimize that down to the taskbar, the presentation, so I just have the folder open. So even though the plant oils presentation is open, because it's not restored and instead minimized, when I go back to my presentation and I try to take a screenshot of it, it's not going to take a screenshot of something that's not open and up in the middle of the screen here. Because it's not there and it's minimized, it won't be able to take a snapshot down below. So what I need to do is go ahead and click on Plant Oils to restore it. Let's see, there's the exercises. Okay, let's go back to our graphics. The presentation, click on Screenshot, go down and click on Plant Oils. Hey, there you go. It's now inserted as an image that I can go ahead and use the resizing handles to resize it, click and drag and move it around, and there we go. Now what if I just wanted this part of the presentation or that slide and not the entire screen here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Go ahead and select it, delete it. Let's try it again. Come up here, click on the Insert tab. Go to the Images group, click on Screenshot, and go down to Screen Clipping. Click on it. Wait a second. I can't take a snippet of it, but before I get to that, you'll see that I got a black cross and the screen is milky, faded. That means that nothing's been selected or cut out for it to take a snapshot of or a screenshot. But I don't want to do it because this big fat exercises window is in the way. I want what's behind it. The reason why it's doing that is because whatever I last touched or worked on, like the exercises window, is going to be the first one or the one up at the front as far as layering goes, and I can't get to the one behind it. So I have to hit the Escape key to get out of that. And instead of touching this last, the exercises folder, which will be layered on top of everything else, I want to go over to the plant oils, which now that I touched it is going to be on top of everything else. So I want to go back to my presentation and then try another screenshot, screen clipping. There we go. Just give it a second and then it snaps into that milky screen. I don't have the exercises folder layered on top of it. It's behind it because the last thing that I touched before I went to the screen clipping was this presentation here. So then I can go ahead and start somewhat right there, click and drag to bring in what I want. And then when I've got it about, oh, it gets tricky, right about there, let go. Hey, it worked. So we can go ahead and resize it, click and drag and move it around. Or since it has nothing to do with the presentation, I'll go ahead and delete it. But that's not the point. At least you know now how to take snapshots or screenshots of your screen.